Right now at 6, a murder investigation crosses a state line after a Missouri woman says she killed her estranged husband.
And we're heading into a warm-up over the weekend starting today. Warmer temperatures reaching the 40s. I'll have details coming up.
Plus, the appearance of bird flu in southwest Missouri takes its toll on a chicken farm in Newton County.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Lindsay Gaffney.
It's Friday, finally Friday. We've been saying it all morning and it's getting warmer and what can you complain about?
The cold temperatures this morning,
yeah,
unfortunately.
okay.
Temperature, I can complain. No, it is a cold start today, but you're right. It's going to warm up today, tomorrow, and even actually through next week. We're going to be in the 40s and 50s, so let's go ahead and take a look outside. It is a clear sky so far this morning. Temperatures are still in the teens though, plus light winds out of the south. We're going to see wind chill values in the low single digits. Now winds are starting to pick up. We're about 10-15 mile per hour winds in the central and southern counties, but the further north we go, 15 to 20 mile per hour wind gusts, and those are just going to continue to strengthen as we head into the rest of the later morning hours. Now, temperatures right now, 14 degrees in Joplin, so we're warming up slightly. We were just about 13 degrees, but it feels like 5 degrees. So it still feels a lot colder, about 10 degrees colder than the actual temperatures, but good visibility, clear skies, so can't complain about too much. Now temperatures, due to the clear skies, got a lot of surface heating in the morning, so we warm up really quickly. 14 degrees at 8 a.m., 22 degrees at 9 a.m., and then we're 33 degrees at 11 a.m. So it's going to be sunny all day. Overall, pretty nice, plus that warm up. Might get a cloud or two, but overall clear skies. Like I said, it's going to be warmer all weekend long. Now, overcast skies do move in later in the day on Saturday. Start off partly cloudy skies, but as that front moves in midday, we're going to see those overcast skies continue, which keeps us a little bit cooler because we don't get a lot of that surface heating, but temperatures are still reaching mid 40s to even upper 40s in some areas, especially further south. Now, Sunday is where we're seeing a bit of a cooler day because of the front that moves through on Saturday. Temperatures drop about 5 to even 10 degrees on Sunday, but the sun comes back out, so it's going to be mostly sunny on Sunday, plus another warm up in store starting on Monday. But I'm going to have a full forecast coming up.
All right, we'll see you soon, Lindsay. Authorities in Aurora have begun a homicide investigation that reaches into Arkansas. Police say at around 1:45 yesterday morning, this woman, Taylor Santiago, arrived at the Aurora Police and Fire Facility and said she had just murdered her estranged husband at her home. Officers took Santiago into custody and responded to her apartment. They found the man identified as Santiago's estranged husband dead inside. Police say Santiago also disclosed that she had earlier driven to Arkansas and shot 2 people, one of whom was the biological father of one of her children. That man is currently listed in serious condition. The other victim, a woman, died. Santiago has been charged with first-degree murder in Missouri, and she is currently in the Lawrence County Jail. Well, some residents of a Carthage apartment building find themselves without a home following a fire. Emergency crews responded to the fire at the Daisy Court Apartments yesterday. Responders found smoke from one section of the apartment as people were evacuating. A number of people were treated for smoke inhalation, and authorities transported one person non-emergency to an area hospital. And now you can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, and sports with the KOAM Plus TV streaming app. It's available on Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV Plus, and Roku. The player is also available on our news and weather apps as well as our website. Watch live streaming anytime, absolutely free. The KOAM Plus TV streaming app. Well, Newton County is dealing with its first documented bird flu outbreak in history. Birds at 2 farms owned by Opal Foods were infected. Opal Foods produces eggs for brands like Eggland's Best and Land O'Lakes. They're in the process of euthanizing all 2.6 million birds at the farm. The euthanized birds and affected eggs will be transported to a landfill in Lamar, Missouri. Then the farm will be sanitized. Cleanup and sanitation will be overseen by the USDA, and they expect to be done by 2026. The administrator at the Newton County Health Department says the risk of transmitting bird flu to humans is minimal.
Employees are doing fine. We're monitoring those folks, and so far it's been a smooth operation, and they hope to be back online in about a year, I think.
He says there is a possibility egg and chicken prices will increase as a result of this latest outbreak. Illnesses such as the flu, RSV, and COVID are causing a disturbance to one school district in Oklahoma. Fairland School District has canceled school yesterday and today to help slow the spread of illness. The district superintendent says close to 25% of students and staff have missed school due to sickness.
We see the peak now because school comes back in session from that Christmas break. So, we had those 3-4 weeks to where we were away from everyone. A lot of us were really more contained to our homes, and then we hit the holidays and we all joined back together, and then school starts back up, and you just really see a big increase between sports and school and things of that such.
The superintendent of Fairland Schools says the decision has not been made about whether or not the school will make up the missed school days at the end of the year. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Purdue Pharma reached a new national opioid settlement to resolve thousands of lawsuits. Plus, Trump vows to fight a federal judge's ruling on controversial executive orders. And Lindsay Gaffney returns with another look at your Friday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Well, topping Nation Watch this morning. Taking a trip with Mickey Mouse will cost you a little more cheese. Disney Cruise Lines has raised its recommended gratuity rates. According to the company's website, the base daily rate for tips is now $16 per guest. That's a $1.50 hike from before. Customers in suites and concierge staterooms will now be charged $27.25 per day, an increase of nearly $4. The tips, which are spread to various crew members, can be paid in advance. Otherwise, they get added to onboard accounts. Disney hasn't updated these recommended rates since July of 2022. Walmart might be known for its often low prices, but that is translating to big paychecks for some employees. Thursday, the biggest retail chain in the U.S. announced sweeping pay raises. Some top market managers who oversee roughly a dozen stores will now make more than $600,000 per year. The entry rate for that position has increased about 25% to $160,000 annually. Walmart's sales have been strong overall. According to its most recent earnings report, Walmart's profit went up 8% compared to the year before. Purdue Pharma and its Sackler family owners have reached a new opioid settlement to resolve thousands of lawsuits. Thursday, several state attorneys generals announced the $7.4 billion national settlement. The lawsuit alleges OxyContin pain medication caused a nationwide opioid addiction crisis. The settlement calls for the Sacklers to pay $6.5 billion, with Purdue Pharma paying $900 million. Under this new deal, the Sackler family does not receive immunity from potential future opioid lawsuits. Individual victims who don't join this settlement could pursue their own lawsuits against the company. And President Donald Trump wraps up his first week in office with a trip out of Washington, D.C. Today, he'll visit communities recovering from recent disasters in North Carolina and Southern California. While he's away, the Senate continues its debate on the nomination of his pick to be the next Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth. All this as the president is vowing to push back on a federal judge's decision to block one of his most controversial executive orders. Naomi Ruckham has more from New York.
Very important.
Today, President Donald Trump heads to hurricane-ravaged communities in North Carolina, then to Los Angeles, where destructive wildfires continue to burn.
The Senate will come to order.
In Washington, a final Senate vote could come as soon as today on former Fox News host Pete Hegseth's nomination for Defense Secretary. Hegseth cleared yesterday's procedural vote in the Senate, despite opposition from all of the Democrats and 2 Republicans, Maine's Susan Collins and Alaska's Lisa Murkowski.
No surprises there. Too bad.
Meanwhile, CBS News has obtained internal documents showing that the Trump administration is in the process of shutting down immigration offices set up by the Biden administration in multiple Latin American countries. While the Department of Homeland Security is authorizing other federal law enforcement agencies like the DEA and ATF to assist in immigration enforcement efforts.
They have deployed active duty U.S. military and National Guard troops to the border to assist in repelling the invasion.
But in a blow to the new president's controversial plan, a federal judge temporarily blocked Trump's order ending birthright citizenship for the children of undocumented migrants and temporary visa holders. The president says he will appeal. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
The FBI says it's identifying records related to the assassinations of former President John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr. It comes after President Trump signed an executive order yesterday directing their release. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Lindsay with a look at your forecast.
Well, heading into the weekend, we go into a warm-up. Today, we're reaching mid-40s. Saturday, mid to upper 40s with overcast skies and a cold front coming through late Saturday night. And on Sunday, we have a drop in temperatures due to that cold front back down into the lower 40s, but the sun returns and a warm-up returns just as a start on Monday as well. So we're back into the 40s and 50s next week. I'm going to have a full forecast coming up.
When 2 people get married, they often want their best friends and family members by their sides. But what about your pets? Those count too, after all. Well, in Colorado, you can give your furry friend the biggest job there is, serving as your witness on your special day and signing or stamping their signature on your wedding certificate. Allie Jenneron reports.
Meet Teddy, a tiny 4-month-old long-haired dachshund filling a big hole in the hearts and new home of Randy and Alexandria Eckhart.
So we're home a lot, and the house was just so empty and quiet, and just the way we came across him and just some things that he embodies or shows just really kind of makes me feel like Bella sent him.
A gift from Doggy Heaven following the passing of their Bella Rose shortly after vets found 2 large tumors.
And this was like a Friday appointment, and then we were supposed to leave Wednesday.
Not for a vacation, but for their wedding in New Mexico, scheduled for November 9th. But a big blizzard and Bella Rose's worsening conditions made them rethink their plan.
We decided to get her into CSU veterinary emergency care in Fort Collins, because I heard that's probably the best place to take her and give her a fighting chance.
In between spending their days by her side, the Eckharts turned a small thought into a big idea.
We drove up there and got her marriage license, and we both looked at each other and said, let's just go do this at the vet so we know for sure Bella's here and can sign this and do it. And we kind of joked about it the day before at the vet, and they're like, oh my God, that'd be so great if you guys all came and did your wedding here.
So they did, and thanks to Colorado laws, they were able to do the wedding without an officiant, and their pick for a witness
Here we go, right here.
Was sweet Bella Rose.
There we go.
A very special moment that the Eckharts now have to remember her forever.
Not many states will allow a pet to serve as a witness, so be sure to double check local regulations before heading off to the altar. Now let's head over to Lindsay for a quick look at your forecast.
Well, temperatures started off pretty cold this morning. We're in the low teens with wind chills in the low single digits, but we are warming up rather quickly. Sunny skies and temperatures getting into the mid 40s today, but I'm going to have a full look at your forecast right after this. Well, taking a look downtown Pittsburgh, we've got clear skies this morning and temperatures are rather cold. Now, yesterday we got into the low 20s for overnight low, but we warmed up to the low 30s, so only about a 10-degree warm up because of a front that moved through. Because of that, we dropped back down into the low teens, even down to about 11 degrees with a wind chill down in the low single digits. So it's a cold start this morning, but as that low pressure system's off to the east, we have this nice little ridge forming over our area for the weekend. So we're going to go into a nice warm up today and tomorrow. So although we're starting off in the low teens, because of the sunny skies, we get a nice surface heating throughout the morning hours, warm up really quickly, 9 a.m., low 20s, 11 a.m., low 30s, and by the high for the day, getting into the low to mid 40s. So overall, not so bad of a day, but we are starting off still cold with those wind chills are going to be the biggest issue that we're seeing this morning. Winds gusting 25 to 30 miles per hour throughout the morning hours. It's about 9 in the morning, and we're still only in the low 20s at this time. So we're going to see a wind chill value still in the low teens as we head through mid-morning. Now, winds start to die down right about 5 p.m., getting into 20, 25 mile per hour wind gusts, then continuing to lower after that. Temperatures are warmer, so we don't see as bad of a wind chill threat later this evening, but we are still seeing those winds gusting 15, 20, 22 miles per hour through the evening hours before that cold front moves through, dropping our winds. And there you can see moving through starting early Saturday morning, but it does slow moving cold front, so it does take a while to move through our area and actually affect our temperatures. So let's look at that future track. We're not expecting any rain with this system, but there's our front. This is about 4 in the morning, just outside of our area, but you can see the overcast skies pushing in just ahead of the front, all that moisture kind of building right ahead of that cold front. So a little bit warmer and humid just right before it moves through. Now, by noon, it's already starting to move through our central counties. Temperatures are getting into the upper 40s, but with overcast skies, might be a degree or two cooler than that. And then as this system starts to push out of our area, we might see a few pop-up showers in Oklahoma and south of I-44 and continuing south in Arkansas as well. So we're not expecting a lot of rain, but maybe a few chances of some pop-up showers before all the system moves out of the way and clouds start to clear by Sunday morning. Now about 8 a.m. temperatures are in the mid-20s, but you can see sunny skies out there, and we're going to see those clear skies throughout most of the day. A couple cloudy points in the day, but overall it'll be mostly clear. Now temperatures starting on Saturday, like I said, getting into the upper 40s, but with the overcast skies, might feel a little bit cooler there. Overnight lows not dropping down too cold on Saturday because we haven't had a lot of time to cool down, but still in the mid to upper 20s. Now highs on Sunday only getting into the low 40s for most of us. A couple northern counties getting into the upper 30s. So about a 5 to 10 degree drop from Saturday highs. And then the overnight lows a little bit cooler Sunday night into Monday, low 20s. But we warm right back up. We're back into a warm up with winds out of the southwest. Temperatures getting into the upper 40s on Monday and even the 50s by Tuesday and Wednesday. Now our next chance of rain isn't going to be until Wednesday night, overcast, and Thursday. Some scattered shower chances and rain chances clearing out early Friday morning, and as those temperatures are colder, we might see a bit of a wintry mix. But until then, outside of a couple of cloudy days, temperatures are going to be continually gradually warming up into the 50s by Wednesday. Now that's a look at your forecast. Let's go over to Elise with Health Watch.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Topping Health Watch this morning. Adults with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder may have reduced life expectancies. A study by University College London found men with ADHD often live 4.5 to 9 years less than men without the disorder, and women live 6.5 to 11 years less. The exact reasons aren't clear, but doctors say many people with ADHD aren't getting the healthcare support they need. And children living with people who smoke cannabis are exposed to toxic and potentially carcinogenic chemicals. A study published in JAMA Network showed that more than a quarter of children who lived with cannabis smokers had detectable THC chemicals in their urine. The study's authors say just being around cannabis smoke can be harmful to kids. And researchers say the so-called non-industrialized diet can reduce a number of chronic disease. Industrialized diets include processed foods and are low in fiber. a non-industrialized diet based on the diet of people in Papua New Guinea. Includes mostly vegetables and legumes and some salmon or chicken. The diet has no dairy, beef, wheat, and little processed foods. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. Stick around, we'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, an agreement will soon expand access to broadband internet in parts of southwest Missouri.
And after a cool start today, we do warm up for the weekend.
Plus, an event in Joplin looks to help the homeless with necessary resources.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:29. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Lindsay Gaffney.
And the weekend is finally here. Happy about it. I don't know about you. With the cold weather, like throughout the week especially, it just feels like it drags and drags.
Well, you're usually getting up super early, right when it's like
right
when
it's the worst.
Time.
Yeah.
But I will let you know, I mean, we're going to the weekend, so you don't have to wake up that early. But next week, our warm-up continues. So it's going to be pretty good for a couple of days, especially after the morning we've had the cold temperatures. So we can go ahead and take a look outside. Temperatures are starting off in the low teens, and we also have a wind chill going on out there as well. So let's go ahead, take a look outside. We've got clear skies right now. And we're going to stay mostly clear all day long. Like I said, though, those wind chill values are going to continue because we've got winds gusting out of the south 15 to 20 miles per hour. Those are just going to strengthen as we head into the rest of the day. And like I said, with temperatures starting off in the low teens, it's going to feel like low single digits. So temperatures right now, 14 degrees, but feels like 5 degrees out there. We've got a southerly breeze, like I said, gusting 15, 20 miles per hour. But once that sun comes up, we get a lot of surface heating and temperatures warm up from the low teens all the way to low 20s by 9 a.m., upper 20s by 10 a.m., and low 30s by 11, with our high for the day reaching mid 40s. Now, a couple of clouds here and there, but overall today is going to be a clear day. Now over the weekend, we start to see a cold front move through early Saturday, kind of slow moving, continuing all day. So we're going to get overcast skies all day, though not expecting any rain chances with that. Temperatures are warming up to the mid 40s yet again, but might be a degree or two colder because of the overcast. But Sunday, as a result of our cold front on Saturday, Sunday temperatures are going to be in the lower 40s, though the sun comes back out and we go back into a warm up Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But I'm going to have a full forecast coming up.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. Well, if you think gas prices have been rising in Missouri, you'd be right. According to AAA, the average gas price in the Show Me state is $2.83, a 4-cent increase in the last week and a 21-cent increase since this day last year. Fortunately, some of the lowest gas prices in the state are right here in our area. Jasper and McDonald counties are both at $2.78. Gas prices on average are lower for some neighboring states. Oklahoma's current average sits at $2.71. In Arkansas, it's $2.77. And in Kansas, the average price is $2.81. Well, Newton County residents will soon have more access to broadband internet. Now, it's a project the county has been working on for more than 2 years. KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on how the County Commission hopes a partnership with Allo Communications will benefit residents.
The Newton County Commission has approved an agreement with Allo Communications to implement a broadband deployment plan using nearly $7 million in funding from the American Rescue Plan Act and an investment from Allo. It will create a backbone fiber line. This will allow for increased access to the internet across the most rural parts of the county.
During COVID, when the schools were closing and all that, they were trying to do schoolwork from home. Well, there's a lot of families that didn't have internet even available to them, and we're just trying to get it up.
Allo is currently working on increasing broadband internet in Joplin. That's how Newton County caught the company's eye. In a statement to KOAM, they say, quote, "Through our discussions with the city of Joplin, we identified how critically underserved Newton County is in terms of broadband options. By addressing this critical infrastructure gap, Allo aims to foster economic growth, enhance educational opportunities, and improve access to essential digital services for the community.
You know, in today's world, a lot more people work from home and stuff, and we want that opportunity for people to move to Newton County and still be able to have broadband to where if they do work from home or need the broadband, it's there for their students. I think it's going to be a good deal for all of the citizens in these areas, and I think they'll be excited.
According to the commissioner, the program won't just make it easier for people to connect or maybe work from home, but it will also work to keep them safe.
We are also trying to do some low water bridge flood alert systems, and by having this broadband out there at the areas where we have a flood risk in the county, we're actually going to have monitors that will not only alert us, but it'll also alert traffic to not go that direction.
Allo says the project is currently in the design phase. The company estimates construction to finish by the end of October 2026. Reporting in Newton County, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Now, Allo is currently working on establishing a fiber network in Joplin as well. You can find a link to track what progress is being done in your community on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The Homeless Coalition hosted a free event at the Salvation Army in Joplin yesterday. The event provided access to housing resources, medical services, employment opportunities, and more. Organizers say the primary purpose is to get more accurate numbers on homelessness in the area.
Continuation for the point-in-time count that started as of last night, which is a national count that happens across the country. And what we're doing today is we're surveying folks as they come in here to the Salvation Army and asking them where they slept last night. And we're doing that survey as part of the homeless point-in-time count.
Smith says the homeless population has gone up in Joplin by more than 50% from 2023 to 2024. This number only reflects people surveyed. And who says you can't have a green thumb in the winter? Well, the Joplin Public Library held an event last night featuring master gardener Eric Osen. Now, he showed how to create mini greenhouses out of milk jugs, a great way to start seeds for spring gardening.
Tonight, we're going to send folks home with a dry mix, and we're going to ask them to saturate it well. But the containers we're using have holes drilled so they can drain out, and then there'll be enough moisture so these seeds can stay damp. What color?
Attendees also enjoyed a fun craft activity with all supplies provided. And it's time once again for KOAM's 4 states' finest nominations, our Viewers' Choice Awards. You nominate your favorite places in the 4 states, everything from restaurants to entertainment venues to fitness clubs, whatever it is, you name it. Top nominees then go to the voting round, and the deadline to nominate is February 2nd. You can head over to KOAMnewsnow.com/finest and let people know what you think is the best the 4 states has to offer. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. It's Friday, and that means Shannon Becker joins us with his big 3 stories of the week. And we have a warmer and sunny day today. We'll have what to expect with Lindsay Gaffney in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We've got Shannon Becker in the studio with his big 3 news stories of the week. Good morning, Shannon.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm loving the cold.
Oh, really?
I've embraced it.
You're ridiculous.
It's a lie. Yeah. Let's take a look at the big 3 stories this week. What's happening where you live? An intersection that's causing quite a stir in southeast Kansas, Cherokee County, the former 4-corner intersection. It used to be a 4-way stop. Now with the new expressway, it's a 2-way stop.
Yes.
A fatal crash occurred the other day. It was about 11:30 in the morning. A man from Veneta, Oklahoma stopped at the stop sign and then continued on into traffic that doesn't stop.
Of course.
And was struck by a tow truck. So more details if you want to read about that story, get the real story, the full story, not all the gossip. A lot of people have been gossiping a lot about it. Check out our website, KOAM News Now, straight from the Kansas Highway Patrol. And our number 2 story, fire yesterday displaced an unknown number of people. A lot of people were displaced. This is a Daisy Court Apartments. It was built in the 40s right on Route 66.
Right.
It was also called Daisy Court Sleeping Rooms.
Oh,
because, back in the day when you travel and stuff. So there are 2 sections of these little apartments. 7 of them burned yesterday. The fire was concentrated in one apartment, apartment 10. Now, nobody was injured. One person was transported for smoke inhalation to an area hospital, but it's displaced everyone in all those 7 apartments.
That's horrible.
So the Red Cross responded to assist. They're still investigating the cause, but they do know it originated in that apartment that was it was a hoarder apartment. How about that? And so it's kind of hard to determine where that fire started. There's so much stuff in there. Our number 1 story, another tragedy, head-on collision. This is near Fairview, Missouri. A man was driving a Jeep Wrangler and went to pass a group of slower traffic and struck a Toyota Prius, a man from Webb City, head on. A man from Webb City was transported to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The man died.
Oh, it's a horrible crash.
That was driving the Jeep. Was not wearing a seatbelt, Missouri State Highway Patrol told us as well. Dangerous, obviously.
Certainly.
And then our bonus story of the week. This might make you feel a little bit better. Do you like Mi Torito? Well, they're opening their 3rd location.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I know people have been talking about them for years. They've been around since like 2005. I've never been.
Neither have I.
They've taken over the old Mucho Mexico, I think is a business that was there years and years ago. So it might seem kind of familiar. It's right across from Flag City Brewing. They opened earlier this week with the Webb City Chamber of Commerce ribbon cutting. But tomorrow will be their grand opening, and they're going to have some live music. So they're in Galena, Coral Junction, and now Webb City, and Mariachi Flor de Missouri will play tomorrow.
How about that?
From 5 until 8. That's your bonus today, the Mi Torito.
Ooh, I might have to go stop by and check it out. Yeah, I think you should go and do that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll just go and listen. It's not karaoke.
No. Well, Shannon, as always, thank you so much for being with us. Of course, you can find all of Shannon's Big 3 stories and his bonus story as well as everything that he does for us as well. Thank you so much, Shannon.
No problem.
Stick around. We'll be right back. It's time to celebrate some Friday birthdays here in the 4 states. We're going to start out in Fort Scott. A happy 3rd birthday to Johnny Ballou.
And moving on over to the 11th birthday for Lily Covey. A note says, Aunt Juanita and Uncle Tim love you.
And a happy 13th birthday to Landon Schmeidler. It says here, happy birthday, love mom, dad, and sister.
And moving over to Chanute, Kansas, happy 13th birthday to Carson Allen.
And making our way over to Carl Junction with a happy 16th birthday to Chandler Craze.
And Katie Gath turning 25 today. Love mom, dad, and the family.
And in Pittsburgh, a happy 30th birthday to Nathan Watson.
And out in Riverton, Kansas, happy 32nd birthday to Sofia De Silva. Love mom, Timberly, and Willow.
And in Chanute, a happy 44th birthday to Cara Chauncey.
And Denise Shoemaker celebrating a 59th birthday out in Humboldt, Kansas. Happy birthday, Denise.
And making our way back over to Chanute, a happy 65th birthday to Carol Gerke. Says here, love from your family.
And out in Jasper, Missouri, Rick Harris celebrating his 66th birthday. Happy birthday, Rick.
And a happy 69th birthday to Ed Ellis in Pittsburgh. It says, we love you, Poppy, Sarah, Jacob, Addie, and Emmy.
And another 25th birthday for Sam Smith. Happy birthday out in Columbus, Kansas.
That was a wonderful birthday list today. And we, of course, love celebrating our birthdays and anniversaries with you. If you'd like to celebrate yours with us, you can do so by submitting them to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. Be sure to include those wonderful photos and those messages. We love reading them. To, of course, meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen, and to also include the date of your celebration as well. That's very important to ensure we're celebrating you or your loved one on the right day. Let's head over to Lindsay for a full look at the forecast.
Well, temperatures are still pretty cold, but taking a look outside downtown Pittsburgh, we've got a nice sunrise going on out there. Clear skies, looking really gorgeous this morning, but you might want to bring an extra jacket because it is still going to be cold. Temperatures yesterday for the lows were down in the low 20s. We only warmed up to the low 30s, and today we dropped down into the low teens with a wind chill in the single digits. So it's a cold start this morning, but we do warm up because we've got a nice little ridge moving over the area as that low pressure system shifts on off to the east. So this ridge is going to continue. Sunny skies today. Overcast skies do move in tomorrow, but that warm up continues. So like I said, we're starting off low teens, warming up to the low to mid 40s today. Sunny skies all day long, so overall it's going to be a pretty nice day. Now those winds will continue throughout the day as well. Through 9 this morning, gusting 25 to 30 miles per hour for all of us out of the south. Those winds will continue through most of the afternoon until about 5 p.m. is when we're going to start to see the downward trajectory of wind strength, gusting 22 miles per hour by 5 p.m. and then continuing to lighten throughout the afternoon and evening hours before a cold front moves through, kind of blowing all those winds out. We're going to see that cold front move in starting 7 a.m. but continues to push through after and throughout most of the day on Saturday. Now, are we going to expect any rain with this? Not so much. Looking at our future track, we're starting to see those clouds move in just ahead of that front. So our front, this is about 4 a.m., just outside of our area. Right ahead of it, we're getting a lot of warm, moist air, so a lot of overcast skies, a lot of moisture in the air. Temperatures starting off in the low 30s to upper 20s, warming up to the mid to upper 40s for the high, but overcast skies is going to keep us relatively cool, so a couple of degrees cooler. And then that front is slow moving by about noon, starting to see in the middle. So because it's so slow moving, we don't see a lot of clearing until Sunday. But towards the end of this, right when it moves out of our area, as it's strengthening, you might see a couple of pop-up showers out in Oklahoma and south of I-44, but mostly going to be south in Oklahoma and Arkansas, not quite in our area, not expecting a lot of rain chances with this. And then as we head into Sunday, starting to see those clouds clear out. Sunday morning, sunny skies. Temperatures are relatively cool though, back in the mid 20s for our lows. Winds are out of the north, and then like I said, we're going to stay mostly sunny with a few passing clouds on Sunday. Temperatures warming up Saturday, again upper 40s to mid 40s. Some areas maybe low 50s, but like I said, with those overcast skies, going to keep us a couple of degrees cooler than what these temperatures are showing. Now winds are out of the north as we head into Sunday, so a little bit cooler, mid 20s for our low 40s for our high, so about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than Saturday. Winds are still out of the north Monday morning, but starting to see that shift of winds out of the south and temperatures in the low 20s. So we're starting off a little bit cooler Monday, but again, we warm right back up, mid 40s on Monday, and then getting into the low 30s for our low Tuesday and upper 40s to even low 50s on Monday. We could see temperatures as warm as 54 degrees on Tuesday, 53 degrees on Wednesday, though those overcast skies later in the day are going to cool us back down with possible showers as early as 9 p.m. on Wednesday, but mostly holding off till after midnight. So we're going to see some scattered showers Thursday and maybe even a bit of a wintry mix on Friday. Definitely still rain showers Friday morning, but as temperatures drop and we get the tail end of that low pressure system, might see a few flurries there, though not expecting a big winter system, but just some scattered shower chances. Until then, Saturday, again, pretty cloudy, but only Saturday. The rest of the weekend and into early next week are going to be mostly clear to partly cloudy with these warmer temperatures. Only getting as low as low 40s Sunday, but the rest of us mid to upper 40s and even low 50s. So we're warming up quite a bit. I'm going to look forward to that with the chance of rain later in the week. Now let's look at your forecast. Coming up when the KOAM morning news switches on over to Fox 14, we'll see how California communities are coming together to help those affected by the recent wildfires.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Aurora police have arrested Taylor Santiago for the murder of her husband and shooting of 2 others in Arkansas. Officers responded to her apartment where they found the man identified as Santiago's estranged husband dead. Santiago had been charged with first-degree murder in Missouri. She is currently in the Lawrence County Jail. Well, 2 farms in Newton County are dealing with its very first documented bird flu outbreak in history. Opal Foods produces eggs for brands like Eggland's Best and Land O'Lakes. Now, they're in the process of euthanizing all 2.6 million birds. The euthanized birds and affected eggs will be transported to a landfill in Lamar, Missouri. Then the farm will be sanitized. And it's time once again for KOAM's 4 States Finest nominations, our Viewers' Choice Awards. Nominate your favorite places in the 4 states. Top nominees then go to the voting round. The deadline to nominate is February 2nd. You can head over to KOAMnewsnow.com/finest. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And we're starting the day off mostly clear skies. Actually, all day it's going to be pretty clear with a gradual warm up from the low teens to the mid 40s today and sunny skies all day long. Plus this weekend that warm up continues. Mid 40s on Saturday, overcast skies because of a cold front that's coming through, and then a drop in temperature slightly 5 to 10 degrees cooler on Sunday into the low 40s, but the sun returns and the warm up moves back around starting on Monday.
Well, coming up today at noon, we're making sheet pan toad in a hole in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, new research is showing an alarming number of barriers keeping healthcare professionals from receiving help for their mental health.
Plus, Shannon Becker joins us back in the studio to talk about his big 3 news stories of the week. But that'll wrap it up for now. We'll see you back here Monday morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.